Paris in the 17th century, a city of passion and love, and one particularly legendary figure, Cyrano de Bergerac. So what makes Cyrano such a prominent figure? What was prominent? His nose, apparently. Cyrano de Bergerac is a play written by Edmond Rostand in 1897, set in 1640 France, centuries before Rostand even existed, sure, but it's a timeless play and a beautiful play. Cyrano was a poet, a brilliant poet, swordsman, and a man of honor who struggled with one thing in particular. He's cursed, with a nose that's obnoxiously large. Though gifted with wit and charm, Cyrano believes that his appearance is a curse that makes him not worth the love of a woman named Roxanne, whom he adores. And then enter Christian, a handsome and not too very articulate dude who also falls for Roxanne. Magic and I guess love are in the air, and that's where the poetry begins. See, at the heart of Cyrano de Bergerac is a poetry, sharp, eloquent, and deeply expressive. The entire play is written in verse, in rhyming couplets of 12 syllables per line. Since Cyrano can't woo Roxanne with his looks, he decides to secretly write love letters for Christian. This initially comes across as your typical love triangle if you haven't really indulged into the story itself. But it's more than just a love triangle. The play is about the battle between inner and outer beauty. Cyrano, the poetic soul, represents the inner beauty. He's intelligent, virtuous, and contains unyielding integrity. Christian, on the other hand, represents the exterior beauty, the beauty that society often prioritizes but also often lacks substance and can fade over time. Roxanne, clever and intellectual, is captivated by the poetry, the mind behind the words, not just Christian's looks. Cyrano's letters sweep her off her feet, but she believes that they're Christian's words. So she's falling for who she thinks is Christian, but what Cyrano has written. So she's falling for the mind even as she believes she's in love with Christian's outer appearance. The interplay of poetry and performance in the love story raises a question. What do we, as people, value more? The visible or the invisible? The inner or the outer beauty? Cyrano believes that real love cannot be built on looks alone, but on intellect, on poetry, and on the essence of one's heart. His selfless act of helping Christian win Roxanne's heart is his own kind of tragic yet noble gesture. So the story then switches gears, and we move into the trenches of war. Unfortunately, Christian dies, but Cyrano continues to send letters to Roxanne pretending to be the man she loved, even though he's gone. Cyrano is loyal and committed to his ideals of honor, love, and friendship to a fault. Though, to be fair, now that brings up the question, is lying like this going too far? But 15 years later, Cyrano's life comes to a tragic but fitting end. He's badly wounded because we're still in war, but he still holds on to his wit, his poetry, and his love for Roxanne, who finally realized that the man that she truly loved all along was Cyrano. In that final moment, Cyrano becomes the embodiment of ultimate tragedy. Loving someone so deeply, but you can't tell them your true feelings. At least not in time. His death becomes the ultimate sacrifice of selfless love that transcends outer beauty, focused on the inner beauty of the soul. And so, Cyrano de Bergerac is not just a story of unrequited love, it's about the poetry that lives within each and every one of us, the beauty of our ideas, our minds, and our hearts. It's a reminder that the greatest beauty is not in what we see, but in what we feel, the words we speak, and the love we share to one another. Cyrano's words, his poetry, and all of the other things he's done, they live on because they're a reflection of the essence of what humanity should be. Because sometimes true beauty is the hardest thing to see, which reminds me of that movie, True Beauty. I should enter something here for it. But it's always the most worth finding.